I always say that if you live your life outside of other people's expectations and boxes, then you just naturally become impossible to ignore.
Of course.
Because they're like, oh, is that girl in the corner not conforming and just doing her own thing? And then that's when the magazines and they come to you, right?
Asked our platform if they could ask you any question regarding, which was 3 out of them, and one of them is, do you prefer your work to be only reviewed by Black journalists or Black people?
No, on the contrary, it's actually being reviewed by, it's mostly by white people that review it around the world, right? And the book also connects, like once people read it, whether you're Black or white, you can connect with the experience of feeling ordered or sense of belonging or exclusion. So I get a lot of letters. I get a lot of letters from Black women, brown women, but also from even white men that are not Swedish that say, well, I came here as a work immigrant and I've never been able to even use my own white privilege to crack into society, right? And I can see myself in some of these women and some of their struggles. I'm like, really, dude? Okay. So these are universal things sometimes in terms of trying to find community, but there are many intersections.
Yeah.
Because there are many different levels of privilege, right? And so with Black women, we've got 3 intersections going. Black, gender, all of that. So yeah, I mean, I think for the book, I wanted to reach a wider audience so people can see what it feels like, kind of come beside me, walk in my shoes to fully understand what your Black friend is feeling, what your Black wife is feeling, what your brown colleague is feeling. That's what I want to do with these books, is to just show, not tell, but just say, look, this is how it is.
Yes. For those of you who don't know about Lola's books, we are highlighting mostly Lagom, the Swedish secret of living well, and also the amazing travel book, The Do Not.
Do you know what?
And then In Every Mirror, She's Black. That title, the way it, no sugarcoating, it just hit home so well.
Yes.
Really. And then Lola is in Oslo to launch her newest book, Everything is Not Enough.
Yes.
So your storytelling within these books, that's the narrative you want to show.
Yes.
I read in a CNN article where you said you shared an experience of when you get interviewed and where they ask, that journalists most time ask you, why don't you self-publish in the language that you desire? And in this context, we're talking about Sweden. Swedish, because you're based in Sweden. You tell our stories in a Nordic narrative, in a Swedish environment. And what do you normally say?
Absolutely. I say that I could, but I won't, because I'm trying to bring attention to the point and gatekeeping within the industry. So imagine if every brown and Black author had to self-publish their work just to have their voices heard. Then the industry will always be reserved for non-white, non-Black, like white people. And that's what I'm actually fighting against, is that gatekeeping. Is why would a very talented, brilliant Black or brown author have to self-publish their work, whereas you can publish a mediocre author, right? So for me, it's a stance, not so much because one of my books, Do Not, which is also an award-winning book, is self-published. I have experience self-publishing, so that's not the point for me. The point is to bring attention to the issue of gatekeeping, where people cannot tell their stories, cannot publish their stories. And so it upholds a single narrative of either it's Nordic noir, or it's Logan and cinnamon buns, or like you are upholding different narratives that are excluding the real lived experiences of a lot of people.
But with all of these award-winning publications that you've done, either if it's a travel storytelling, visual storytelling, or if it's fiction work, with what publication did you reach the standpoint point where you were just like, you know what, it's okay. I'll just continue doing my work because I know who I'm writing for.
Yes,
I know
yes.
the stories that need to be shared.
Yes.
Which one was it? Was it from the get-go or was it like along the way?
See, I think it's along the way, and also I always say that if you live your life outside of other people's expectations and boxes, then you just naturally become impossible to ignore.
Of course.
Because they're like, who is that girl in the corner not conforming and just doing her own thing? And then that's when the magazines and they come to you, right? So just recently, I'm very grateful to have been named onto Condé Nast Travelers Power List. So they have every year they put out a Women Who Travel Power List, and I'm on their list for this year, which is incredible, right?
Okay, you are humble. You are humble.
Which is incredible. That's an incredible honor because Condé Nast Traveler is the kind of one of the flagship publications within the travel industry. But I didn't chase that. It came, right? And it's because once you align with your purpose and just keep listening, going back to that purpose, going back to that pot of water, saying, why are you doing this? What's my why? My why is cultural connection. My why is making people feel connected and seen and heard and acknowledged. And that's through my work. So I'll just keep doing that. And then all the other accolades just naturally come because you're living your truth and you're living your purpose.
What helps Lola stay in alignment with her purpose?
Yes.
Because just to break it down a little bit, because like as change makers, we've been talking about this a lot. It's only the 11th month of 11th day of the month, but or 12th, but we have still been talking a lot about how it's not easy being a change maker.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
It has a price.
Yes.
It has a physical price, like
Yes.
in actual money,
Yes.
but it also has an emotional and
Yes.
physical bodily
Yes.
price.
Yes.
What does Lola do to stay in alignment with her?
Oh, absolutely. Well, one, I am a person of faith. I'm deeply spiritual. I'm a Christian. I always go back to my source. I also unplug, meaning even though I love being around people, I steal away, right? Go away and quiet the noises around me. I love to read. I do occasional massages. I'm a big advocate for self-care and therapy. I have a therapist who I go to once a month.
Yes.
So all of this is very important in terms of knowing when to listen to your body, listen to when you're going off alignment, and having a source that you connect to. So for me, my source is spiritual. I go back to say, okay, how am I doing? Is my spirits aligned? Am I feeling good? I'm going back to that.
Lovely. Thank you so much. As we have to round off because we have a long line of people waiting to talk to you, and also it's your book launch today. So I would just like to ask you if you would give one piece of advice to a fellow sister, regardless of their age, sitting at home, wish they could be able to live the career they want with the sole purpose of what their passion is, but do it through different avenues.
Correct.
Do you have one piece of advice that can encourage them to dare to take the step and also not to budge if the world doesn't receive them due to how they portray them?
No, absolutely. I will say the one thing is not to dilute your voice for the cheap win. Because it's very easy when you feel like, okay, let me just settle because just this small opportunity came, right? And then what you do is you dilute your true voice. You then don't write the story you are meant to write. So my book, the first one, In Every Nourish is Black, got over 70 rejections. And that was because it got over, and we just stopped counting. Over 70. My friends were like, are there that many publishers in business? We didn't know.
Really?
So many rejections. But I stuck to it because I knew that this story needed to be told this way. Many of the editors wanted me to change the voice, change the this, make this woman strong. They wanted me to bring the stereotypes I was fighting against
And
back
also not
in.
to offend the Swedish population.
And take some things out. And I said, no. So I think once you have that conviction that this is my story to tell, The road will be hard. It may be hard. Let me not say it will be. It may be, because I don't want to manifest hardship for us, right? It may be hard. You may be tempted to quit. Imagine all the amazing authors that we never got to read if they quit after their 30th rejection, right? So, but if you have the conviction, just stick with it. Do not dilute your voice. The world will want you to tone yourself down. The world will want you to dim your lights, so you are palatable for other people. Don't do that. Don't do that. The world needs you to fully show up as yourself. We are all unique. That's why the world needs you as you are, to fully show up as yourself. So take heart. It might feel like you're toiling and toiling and toiling, but remember, there's the season for planting and the season for growing, and it might feel frustrating because you've planted a lot of seeds, but don't worry. Once water hits it, they're all going to grow at the same time. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lola.
Thank
Thank you
Miriam.
again. Thank you for being here with
Thank you
us.
so much for having me.
I wish you all the best with your nomination, the NWA
CP.
Oh my days, we are watching.
Thank you.
But thank you for telling our stories.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting yourself as a target in a way, because like we talked about, there is a cost for it.
Yes.
But we see you, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
And we need you.
Yes. No, it's all about community, and we need to uplift each other and lift each other and say, I see you. I see you. So
we really do. So all the best, and thank you again, Lola.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right.